They're right.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for coming back to hang with your girl, Mabel, your muse, for another poetic exploration of this beautiful thing we like to call life. It's rather interesting. Sometimes it's daunting, it's complex, but we're all living it. It's a shared experience. So let's do it for real, for real. This poem today was actually inspired by a conversation I had with my sister Soul. It was a couple months ago, I want to say, because I did write this poem back in January. But we talked about a lot that day, as we usually do. You know, when girls get together, they yap. But we did discuss a lot that day, and just about how sometimes when it comes to living and doing stuff, it feels like, damn, I'm really going through the thick of it, even though you really go out of your way to help others, to do things for others. Sometimes it feels like I'm like, what's going on with me? What's going on for my life, you know? But without further ado, I'll just read the poem and then we'll get more into discussion after and really, you know, dig dig deep as we usually do. But today's poem is called Burn Baby Burn. What it is to give light must endure burning. Viktor Frankl was onto something, but my soul sister emphasized a deeper meaning, a prophecy. Those called to give light must endure burning. My interpretation starts at the most obvious, a beautiful candle. We love them because they smell good. They have this power of making us feel fulfilled after doing a deep clean of our homes early Saturday morning. However, the candle's initial purpose is to provide light through its flame. In order to fulfill the candle's said purpose, it must burn. At the cost of our happiness and need for light, the candle has lost its form, leaving us happy and fulfilled, whereas the candle has suffered the most. Melted to a formless wax, its wick has also performed its civic duty, now burnt to an unusable crisp. The same goes for us, those who know without a doubt that we have been called to give light. And yes, the same goes for anyone who is still learning that they indeed serve as a beacon of light in the lives of many. You may wonder why you often face much heartache. It's only so much burden a person can endure. But in this difficulty, you've realized that your trials and tribulations are testimonies shared to influence tenacity. When life throws its first stone of the day, working through the immediate frustration, you pick yourself up and dust yourself off, trudging on because nothing can keep you down for too long. You come across another traveler, struggling to put one foot after the other. So you invest your time to show them the ropes. They don't know that you just got your ass handed to you by an incredibly large boulder. All they know is that without you, they wouldn't have made it up this hill. Even in your struggle, you aided someone to victory. Even in your hurt, you showed up in love. Continue to show up, authentically and tenaciously. You were called to fulfill a purpose. There is no light if there is no you. Your struggle will never be in vain. To be burned is to be a light. Ashe, 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 and we all clap. Oh, yes. Oh, my goodness, my goodness. Burn, baby, burn. Hmm. I really did enjoy writing this poem. I really did. And even revisiting it today to share with you all, I really did. But as I said, speaking to her name is Soul, but obviously, as you guys can hear in the poem, I said, but my soul sister, because Soul is my soul sister, period. Shout out my good sis. But anywho, I know sometimes it feels like I know sometimes it feels like life is heavy, life is daunting, as we said, and it's like you're really going through it. But even in your own struggles, sometimes you do find ways to show up for other people. You might be having the worst day of your life, but you go to work and you've made somebody else's day just with the interaction you've had with them. You may be having the worst day of your life. You may be down in the dumps, but a friend calls you because, they're having a terrible day, or they call you because, they just got in an accident, whatever it may be. You drop all that you're going through and you go show up for them. And it's a beautiful thing, honestly. I feel like a lot of us, I know I do this a lot. A lot of us really a lot of us really do have the ability and the capacity to put others before ourselves, but I've learned in this life that that is not always good. You know, sometimes you do need to prioritize yourself, your mental health, your overall health, and just your well-being at the end of the day. But I want those of us who this practice comes easily for to remind ourselves that sometimes it can be a good practice, and it is important. A lot of people do need to learn this as well, because some people really can't put themselves in other people's shoes to then, go serve and go do something for somebody else. Because even in the midst of you facing a trial or tribulation, I know for me personally, if I go out of my way to then help somebody else, that in some way does fill my cup, and it makes me feel a little better about what I might be going through. Because sometimes it shifts your perspective. It's like, okay, well, let me look at what I'm going through a little differently. Or it just gives you a little glimmer of hope, like, oh, if I can be a beacon of light to somebody else, like, let me also do that for myself. Let me find some way to find, the light, to find something to be grateful for in this life. And we're humans, it's okay to want somebody else to be that for us. We cannot always be the beacon of light for ourselves. Like, a flashlight cannot be its own flashlight, basically. Sometimes you cannot light the path for yourself. Others may light the path for you, and you lighting the path is going to light the path for somebody else, like behind you. But all that to say, it is okay that we do have these feelings sometimes where it's like, well, damn, I just feel like my bick is burnt out, feel like my wax is not waxing no more, like my candle is done for, I'm burnt out, like I'm done, I'm burnt out. But feel those feels. It's okay to feel those feels. But I want to remind us that even in your hardships, even in your trials and tribulations, even in your suffering, somebody else sees you as such an inspiration. Somebody else sees you as someone that they are so grateful for. Somebody else sees you and they literally smile from ear to ear. Like, you is who you are. You and your existence are such a bright light for somebody else in this life. You just being you, even in the times where you honestly do not feel the best, where you do not feel like yourself, where you feel like life is just lifing and like they're just throwing bricks at you left and right. Even you dealing with that and taking one step after the other, putting one foot after the other, you're encouraging the next person over. You're literally encouraging the next person over. Like I said, many of us sometimes too, it's like, even as you're trying to put one foot after the other, you realize that the next person over is struggling a bit. So you decide to take your time to then teach them the ropes. You're like, okay, this is how you do it. Let's take it minute by minute, step by step. Like, you're such an amazing person. You are such an amazing person. Even in your struggle, you aid others to victory. Even facing hardships, facing challenges, you then light a path. You then encourage others. Like, you're amazing. You're amazing. And I want you to remember that you don't always have to force and fake the funk. I know sometimes I say, like, oh, sometimes you got to fake the funk and just keep it pushing, but you don't always have to fake the funk. Like, feel the feels. If you're having a terrible day, you're having a terrible day. If somebody can meet you in the middle and see you at that terrible day and be a beacon of light to you, so be it. And thank God for them. Thank God for them. And if it happens vice versa, I know they're thanking God for you as well. I say this all the time. Life is a shared experience. We may not all be experiencing the same thing at the same time, but we can all learn from one another. I find it very interesting. I often talk to my friend. Honestly, it's funny. She's on my mind today because I'm about to call her later today. So, Tasia girl, if you see this video, well, by the time I post this, I would have already called you. But anyways, whenever we speak about stuff, I always tell her about how interesting it is that sometimes experiences that she's had or I've had, like, one of us will have it right before the other, and it might not be the same exact experience, but the principles behind it, and then we learn from each other. It's like her sharing her story. I'm like, oh girl, I've been through this. This is how I went through it. or this is kind of what I did to help me. I hear you, do this, that, and the third, and vice versa. I'll share something with her, and she's like, "Girl, I know what you mean. Like, this is what happened to me. This is my story. Let me share what kind of helped me." Like, life is a shared experience. Life, we're all here. And we're all supposed to have camaraderie. We're all supposed to be united, like community, community. We're all supposed to be family. Like, we're not supposed to be fighting. We should not be at odds with one another, but unfortunately that's just how life and society is set up. Like, there are sides to pick, there are opposing sides, but that's in everything. That's in politics, that's in sports, that's in work, that's in all things. Okay, yes, I get it, but at the end of the day, we all should be here for the same purpose, which is to live, love, and laugh. you know, it's funny. Like, they always make a joke where they're like, the housewives had it right with, the home decor where it's like live, love, laugh, blah, blah, blah. But no, that's facts. We should all be living, loving, and laughing. Share our experiences with one another, learn from each other, and do better. We're all aligned. We are literally all aligned in some way, shape, or form. The experiences you have, the interactions you have with people, those were ordained, those were planned. Like, God is a master manipulator. He purposefully and strategically orchestrated every single interaction that you're going to have. Like, and every single moment of your life, even the ones that suck, even the ones that force you to feel down and out, they're all supposed to happen to shape you into something else. They're all supposed to happen to then encourage the next thing over. Just like the challenges and the trials and tribulations you face, they all happen at the strategic times to then impact the next thing over. It's like the domino effect. Like, you learn something in your hardship to then teach to the next person over. You learn something so significant and so critical that helped you out of such a spot, that then helps the next person that you speak to. Might be your sister, might be your brother, your mom, your dad, a stranger on the street, someone you encounter when you go to work. Like, it doesn't matter where you are, everything that you're going through, all of life is definitely divinely orchestrated. And like I said, even the moments that suck, but we've got to find ways to be grateful for those moments. I've been practicing and teaching myself to be grateful for even the moments that I don't like, because they lead to other moments that I like. They teach me things. Even the parts that I don't like, they teach you things. Even when you take a test at school, you take a test, you fail. What do you learn? Oh, I need to lock in next time. I need to study more. I need to ask more questions. I need to da 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 da. Failure only teaches. Failure is one of the best teachers in this life. Failure is a teacher, hardships are a teacher, challenges, those are all teachers. But you have to be intentional to take those lessons and apply them. But without further ado, because I could honestly sit here forever and yap. As you see, we're outside again today. The sun is out. It's beautiful. Like, the breeze is nice. The kids are playing in the park. I thought they were supposed to be at school, but maybe school's over. But yes, thank you so much for coming back to hang with your girl, Mabel, your muse. I hope you guys feeling a little encouraged. I hope you guys take this message, share it with whoever you got to share it with, rewatch it, do whatever you got to do. But until then, if you would like to stay up to date with me, you guys can follow me on Instagram at princess.yaki, princess.yaaki. I'll put it here so that you guys can, see it and type it in. But if you guys ever have any questions or even like want me to touch base on something, I honestly share all my poems from experiences I've had. But if you guys ever want to share experiences with me as well, I I honestly also take experiences I've had and like shared with other people, and I write about those too. It's not like, oh, I'm writing for commission or anything, but I just take life and things I've been through, things I know people have been through, and just like literally life, and I write. But yes, without further ado, I will see you guys for the next video. Thank you so much for all the support. I love you all mucho, mucho, mucho. Big hearts, big kisses, X's and O's. Have a blessed day.